and then prepare the team for taking the substantive motion, which is the second readings for all of them. So if we go to 51, 51 is also a procedural motion in relation to the Revenue Administration Amendment Bill. So I similarly apply for the Deputy Finance Minister to move that one as well.
Permission granted. Motion number 51. Deputy Minister for Finance.
Mr. Speaker, I move again that notwithstanding the provision of Standing Orders 1041, which requires that a motion shall not be debated until at least 2 sitting days have elapsed after the notice to move the motion is given, the motion for the second reading of the Revenue Administration Amendment Bill 2025 may be moved today. I so move, Mr. Speaker.
All members, motion number 51 accordingly moved. Any seconder?
Mr. Speaker, I rise to second the motion. Thank you.
Honorable members, the motion has been moved and seconded, and it is for the consideration of the House. Honorable members, this is a procedural motion. Being a procedural motion, the question, therefore, is as many as are in favor of the motion, number 51, say aye. Those against, say no. Honorable members, the ayes have it. The motion is accordingly adopted. Yes, Majority Leader.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. We will skip 56 and go to 57, which is also a procedural motion in respect of the emission levy repeal bill. Mr. Speaker, I similarly apply for the Deputy Finance Minister to move the motion.
Leave hereby granted. Deputy Minister responsible for finance, you have the floor.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, I move that motion number 57, which is on page 13 on today's order paper, be moved today. I so move, Mr. Speaker.
No, leave it there. Honourable members, motion accordingly moved. Any seconder?
Yes, Mr. Speaker, I rise to second the motion. Thank you.
Honourable members, motion moved and seconded, and it is for the consideration of the House. There being a procedural motion, the question is as many as are in favor of the motion number 57, say aye. Those against, say no. The ayes have it. The motion is accordingly adopted. Yes, Majority Leader.
So, Speaker, another procedural motion numbered 63 in respect of the Income Tax Amendment Bill. And I similarly apply for leave for the Deputy Minister for Finance to move the motion.
Leave granted. Deputy Minister responsible for finance, you have the floor. Motion number 63.
I'm grateful, Mr. Speaker. So I move that motion number 63 on today's order paper, page 14, be moved now. I so move, Mr. Speaker.
Honourable members, motion accordingly moved. Any seconder?
Yeah, Mr. Speaker, I rise to again second the motion. Thank you.
Honourable members, motion moved and seconded, and it is for the consideration of the House. Honourable members, this is also a procedural motion. Therefore, the question is as many as are in favor of the motion number 63, say aye. Those against, say no. The ayes have it. The motion numbered 63 is accordingly adopted. Majority Leader.
Right, Honourable Speaker, motion number 69 is next in respect of the abridgment of time for the reading of the second reading of the Value Added Tax Amendment Bill. Similarly, apply for the Deputy Minister of Finance to move the motion.
Members, leave accordingly granted. Deputy Minister for Finance, you have the floor. Motion number 69.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, I rise to move that motion numbered 69 on pages 15 and 16 of today's order paper be moved today.
Honourable members, motion moved. Any seconder?
Mr. Speaker, I rise to second the motion. Thank you very much.
Honourable members, please, the motion is moved and seconded, and it is for the consideration of the House. Honourable members, this is also a procedural motion. As many as are in favour, say aye. Those against, say no. Honourable members, motion numbered 69 at page 15 and 16 of today's order paper is accordingly adopted. Yes, Majority Leader, any indication?
Yeah, Mr. Speaker, so we'll go back to 46 and take the motion for the second reading of the Electronic Transfer Levy Repeal Bill 2025. And again, Mr. Speaker, I ask for your leave so that the Deputy Minister for Finance will move the motion.
Honourable members, leave is accordingly granted.
Thank
Yes,
you, Mr.
Minority
Speaker.
Chief Whip.
Mr. Speaker, I humbly move that.
No, the Chief Whip is on the floor.
Speaker, the Deputy Minister is clearly trying to implement the 24-hour economy. He's in a hurry, but he should tread with caution. Speaker, I have no objection, just to caution and to pray the leader of the House that these are very important bills, very important bills, very critical bills. In fact, it cannot be the case that Speaker, the Deputy Minister will shepherd all these bills. We can start with him, but the Minister should be called. At least the first is on his way. How long will he be here? Speaker, we can grant them at least the first two. The Deputy Minister, who is one of our own, can shepherd it. But the subsequent ones, as we swim deeper, the Minister should be here. And this is, Speaker, principles, second reading. It's very important the Minister comes and elucidates on these very important bills. So he may start, but after the first two, you have to resume your seat and let your boss take over.
Honourable member, we've heard you. Yes, Honourable Deputy Minister for Finance.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I want to
motion numbered 46.
Mr. Speaker, I humbly move that the Electronic Transfer Levy Bill 2025 be now read a second time. I so move, Mr. Speaker.
Members, the chairman of the Finance Committee may present the report of the committee on the bill.
Mr. Speaker, I second the motion, but in doing so, I would like to present the committee's report. Mr. Speaker, the Electronic Transaction Levy, otherwise known as E-levy, was imposed by the government of Ghana with the aim of widening the tax net. But, Mr. Speaker, it faced a lot of resistance from the people of Ghana.
Honourable members, based on our standing order, second reading, motion for second reading, we don't second.
Okay.
So honourable members should take note of it accordingly.
So the current government decided that based on the impact that this was having on disposable incomes of ordinary Ghanaians, as part of the tax reforms that were introduced, the government decided to abolish and repeal the act that imposed this. Mr. Speaker, we were told that the fiscal impact of this single repeal will amount to 1.946 billion for the fiscal year 2025. Mr. Speaker, the committee deliberated on this matter and came to the conclusion by a unanimous decision of the committee that this should be recommended to the House for the repeal to proceed. Mr. Speaker, thank you very much.
Honorable members, the motion was moved and the report of the Finance Committee is presented. Honorable members, pursuant to Standing Order 127, a full debate shall arise on the principles of the bill on the basis of the explanatory memorandum and the report of the Finance Committee. Honorable members, as I always indicate, this is the second reading. This is the time for us to debate the rationale behind the bill, the principles, the mischief that the bill is seeking to cure. The floor is now yours. Yes, Honorable Stephen Namwa.
Mr. Speaker, I also rise to support the repeal of this electronic bill, but then I have a few comments. Mr. Speaker, if you read the bill, there's this essential extract that illustrates the fact that when it was being passed, it faced fierce resistance. So we realize that the repeal is being done not because our fiscal space is presented in a manner that will offer us the needed expected impact on our socio-economic framework as a country, but because of the resistance. Mr. Speaker, apart from that, you also realize that although there seems to be restoration of our economy, our fiscal space hasn't also gotten to the level that we had to quickly repeal the bill. There are a few things, Mr. Speaker, I don't think that time will permit us to do this. I only advise that in doing some of these things, the rationale and the reasons should be said that our fiscal space and as our economy as a whole be accorded the needed decision that will rather augur well for the good people of this country. Having said that, Mr. Speaker, I support this motion. Thank you very much, Mr. Speaker.
Yes. Yes, Honorable Member, you have the floor.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I also rise to support the repeal of this bill.
That's Honorable Sapper.
Yes.
Yes, my neighbor.
Thank you very much. I'm in support of this bill because when we were taking through the bill, we realized that there are a lot of imbalances in the bill. For instance, it came to the fore that assuming myself and my wife, we've gone to shopping and I decided to pay with cash. And having paid in cash, I will not be charged for any additional cost or whatever. But my wife who would like to use